Hey, welcome back. I couldn't wait. I have to review Woodinville today, but before we get into that, I just wanted to say I grabbed a bottle of Old Nick. This is Old Nick Williams Distillery. It's right here close to where I live in North Carolina. I've had it before. It's a really good bourbon. I won't say it's top of the list or anything, but I haven't drank it in a while. So I'm very interested to review this. Now, for a local source thing, I'm doing the support local deal. This review will be coming out soon, but I'm going to do a little more research. This is going to be one that I do look up ahead of time, that I look up the history, that I look up the whatever I can find out about the bourbon. I may even read some other reviews on it before I review it because I want to give it a really, really fair shake on here with a slant towards support local. So this one I'm saving for later, but we'll get into the Woodinville right after this. All right, we're back. Again, I have the Woodinville. Now, par for the course, the way I normally do these, I did not do a lot of research on this ahead of time. The only thing I got was I posted that I had bought the bottle along with a couple other bottles, and someone made a comment on Reddit about you need to let that air, which I always swirl it for air. I'm recording this a little later in the day. I was going to record it earlier. It may not post tonight. I don't know, but we'll see. But let's go ahead and pop the top on this thing. Okay. And for the VR180 experience, here's yours. Pouring a little heavier because it is later in the day. I'm not trying to rush this in an afternoon. So we'll go ahead and get some in the glass. Nope, there's a little drop. No alcohol abuse. All right, there we go. Now that we have the top back on it, this is 90 proof, 45%. So it's right on my marker line for what I like to see in a bourbon, which is the 90 proof, 45%. It can be a little lower than that as long as it's a good bourbon. But if you get too far below that 90 line, what I find is you don't get the deeper notes. You just don't tend to get as many notes off of it. Just my experience. Now, Basil Hayden's is one that does give you some pretty decent notes for a lower proof. This is a real craft whiskey, straight bourbon. It doesn't say Kentucky because it's not. It's handmade in Washington State. Straight bourbon whiskey. Okay, Woodinville. I'm not going to read all their stuff on the back. Distilled, bottled, and aged by Woodinville Whiskey Company, Woodinville, Washington. So that's smaller batches, bigger dreams. Handmade in Washington. No batch, no barrel, no nothing. That's it. No age statement. But I can tell you it has really good legs on it from what I can see. Pretty decent. And the color on it is a darker amber. So that makes me happy. So there we have good droplets on the top, slow runs, kind of getting fat coming down. Should be a good tongue coating. All right, on the nose, certainly vanilla and the fruits, but that's typical with most bourbons. But I'm picking up a little back end rye, maybe. Yeah, a little spice in there. It's kind of subdued, but I am getting some of the darker nose off of it as well. So not just your caramel, but it's getting, there's some woody notes coming through on the nose. Yeah, this smells kind of dreamy. So hopefully the palate stands up to the nose. Let me go ahead and swirl this another time. Let's get some air in it. I heard it needed the air. I know I let something influence me, but we're going to do it. All right. Now, for the first sip. That does coat pretty well. Not as well as I thought it would based on the legs I'm seeing. It didn't quite get all the way across. And again, I don't like to give a lot of notes on that first one, but I am picking up some of those spicier notes on the tongue. So let me get the second sip going here. Get that forced all around. A little punchy on the back. No singe on the front of the tongue at all. But it's only 90 proof. But I am getting a pretty good, decent finish on it. And yeah, it's lingering. I had to do another swallow to make sure it's still there. Some of those spice notes are still clinging back there. I am getting into some darker fruit notes once I get it on the palate. Into the like roasted fruits, apples, pear, that maybe with some all-spicy cinnamon on them. Now, it's not as punchy as a rye. Don't think it is. It's nowhere near a high rye. Take a pretty good swig there. Oh, yeah, that helped. Now the caramels are coming. I went on ahead and took a pretty good little wash on there and let it go on down without really forcing it around. And the center of the tongue, it's a medium to low sweet, but I'm getting some of the darker caramels, maybe tipping into hints of molasses, but I'm getting a honey note out of it as well. Not something that I commonly get, because it's very easy to kind of mix up vanilla caramel and with sweetness, like a honeysuckle sweet or something, and then picturing honey in your mind. But I'm getting a distinct honey note off of Woodinville. And it's pleasurable. I mean, it really is. That is a good bourbon. Not a lot of, now there's a whole big, huge paragraph on the back about this. It says truly small batch is the first few words. But they also said, smaller batches, bigger dreams, whatever. Corn, rye, and malted barley. So there is some rye in it, but it's not a high rye. It does not give the mash bill. So I don't know. We know it's 51% or more corn, and we know there's the barley, which is giving that nuttier flavor. And barley can also kind of drag that into a darker caramel. And it's just something about the way they put this together with the certain specific notes and aging that there is a honey note to this. I used to eat bit of honey when I was a kid. I'm dating myself. I don't even know if they make them anymore. But there was that toffee kind of mixed in, and there was like a little bit of honey in it, but it's like a little taffy treat. It's kind of bringing my mind to that just a little bit, because there are some of those, maybe a little toffiness to this, but definitely a honey note. As far as a cigar, I don't think so. This one is hitting on all of these different cylinders, and I just don't want to lose the way it's firing, because the way it's popping over here, back here, and I don't want to lose any of that. I think this is a fun bourbon to drink, because it is just giving me an explosion of different flavors. Now, a lot of them are common bourbon notes. It's not like the Duke or some of them that you could really put against this and have a completely different flavor profile. It is kind of crossing lines in between some of the better bourbons I've had and some of the moderately weaker bourbons. But man, it is really hitting on a lot of different cylinders. And I really do like this bourbon a lot. And I apologize, I can't remember what I paid for it. And again, prices vary geographically. It wasn't out like a really high price, though. I think it was sub 50, maybe even sub 40. I can't remember now. It could have been in the 40s. But anyway, it's not, I mean, this is a really, really good bourbon. And I'm enjoying it. I'm glad I bought it. And I'm probably going to finish both these glasses as I process this video. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this off to keep it short because it is getting late in the day. And it does take me a long, long time to process these videos. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell down there for notifications. And I promise I'll keep bringing you these videos.